Be me, 34-year-old woman, married to David for 6 years, together for 9. We have a beautiful 4-year-old son named Oliver. Life is comfortable. We both make good money, nice house in the suburbs. But lately, I've been feeling like something's missing. David's always been the agreeable type, quiet software engineer, works from home most days. Honestly, sometimes I wonder if I settled. He just goes along with whatever I say. Never challenges me, never pushes back. It's gotten boring. I've been spending a lot of time on online forums lately, reading about relationship dynamics and power structures. There's this whole thing about how women need to maintain frame in relationships. Can't let men get too comfortable or they stop trying. Makes sense when you think about it. Complacency is the death of attraction. One night scrolling through my phone while David puts Oliver to bed, come across this thread about shit tests, how they're actually healthy for relationships. They keep men on their toes, prove they're still worthy, otherwise they just coast and take you for granted. Reading dozens of stories from women who transformed their relationships this way. David comes downstairs and sits next to me on the couch. Oliver wants you to come say goodnight. Don't even look up from my phone. I'm in the middle of something. You already did bedtime. He just nods and goes back upstairs. See what I mean? No backbone whatsoever. Spend the next few weeks thinking about this power dynamic thing. Realize David hasn't had to actually work for my affection in years. He just expects me to be there. Expects his dinner, expects his laundry done, expects sex twice a week. Wait, no. I expect those things. Whatever. The point is, there's no tension anymore. No electricity. Decide I need to do something dramatic. Something that will shake up the dynamic. Make him realize he can't just take me for granted. Make him fight for me again, like he did when we were dating. Remember, he used to write me poetry. Used to plan elaborate dates. Now he just comes downstairs from his office at 5:30 and asks what's for dinner. This isn't what I signed up for. One evening after Oliver's asleep, I'm pouring myself a second glass of wine. David's doing the dishes because I cooked. Actually, I ordered Thai food, but I plated it, so basically I cooked. Suddenly it hits me. The ultimate test. The thing that will really prove whether he's still invested in this marriage. David, we need to talk. He immediately tenses up. Men always know when those words mean something serious. He dries his hands and comes to sit at the kitchen table. What's wrong? Take a long sip of wine for dramatic effect. I've been doing a lot of thinking about our relationship. He's already looking worried. Good, he should be worried. He's been coasting for too long. I think we need to establish some new boundaries and expectations. He nods slowly. Okay, like what? I need you to get a paternity test for Oliver. The look on his face is priceless. Complete shock, confusion, hurt, all mixed together. His mouth actually drops open. What? Why would you... Are you saying... Hold up my hand. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying that I need you to prove your commitment to this family. I need to know that you're invested enough to question things, to verify things, to not just blindly accept everything. He's staring at me like I'm speaking another language. But I don't understand. Are you telling me Oliver might not be mine? Take another sip of wine. This is actually going perfectly. He's already more animated than he's been in months. I'm telling you that a real man wouldn't just assume. A real man would want to know for certain. The fact that you've never even thought about it shows how complacent you've become. He stands up, runs his hands through his hair. He's actually pacing now. Haven't seen him this energized in years. This is insane. Oliver looks exactly like me. Everyone says so. Are you having an affair? Have you had an affair? That's not the point, David. Set my wine glass down firmly. The point is that you should want to know. You should demand to know. The fact that you're getting defensive instead of taking action proves my point. He stops pacing and looks directly at me. There's something different in his eyes. Something I haven't seen before. Let me get this straight. You want me to get a paternity test for our son. Not because you've been unfaithful, but because... What? To prove I'm man enough to question you? Yes, exactly. Finally he's getting it. It's about respect, David. It's about not taking things for granted. Do you know how many men raise children that aren't theirs and never even know? Shouldn't you want certainty? I have certainty. His voice is quiet now, which is somehow worse than the yelling. I was there when he was conceived. I was there for every ultrasound. I was in the delivery room. I've been there every single day since. I don't need a test to tell me he's my son. He's missing the entire point. This isn't about biology, David. It's about you being proactive instead of reactive. It's about you taking control instead of just accepting whatever I tell you. Honestly, the fact that you won't do this simple thing proves that you've checked out of this marriage. He's quiet for a long moment. Then he picks up his keys from the counter. I'm going to go stay at Mark's tonight. I need to think. Perfect, actually. This is exactly the kind of reaction I was hoping for. He's finally feeling something. Finally having to confront the relationship instead of just existing in it. Text my friend Rachel while he's upstairs packing a bag. Just shook things up with D. He's actually showing emotion for once. She responds immediately. OMG, what did you do? Asked him to get a paternity test for O. 3 dots appear and disappear like 5 times. Finally, wait, did you cheat? No, obviously not. It's a power move, making him work for it again. She doesn't respond after that. Whatever. She's been in a boring marriage for 10 years, she wouldn't understand. David comes down with a duffel bag. Doesn't even look at me. Just goes upstairs to Oliver's room. Hear him in there for like 15 minutes. Is he crying? Okay, maybe this was more effective than I thought. He leaves without saying goodbye. Pour myself another glass of wine. Feel triumphant. Finally took control of my own relationship. Finally stopped letting him set the terms through his passivity. Next few days are weird. David texts only about Oliver. Picks him up for a few hours each day. Won't come inside. Waits in the driveway. Oliver keeps asking where Daddy is sleeping. Tell him Daddy's on a work trip. My mum calls because David apparently called her. She's furious with me. What are you thinking? That poor man is devastated. Try to explain the concept of maintaining healthy relationship tension. You sound ridiculous. You have a good husband and you're playing games. She doesn't get it either. Her generation just accepted whatever crumbs men gave them. Week goes by and David texts me. We need to talk. Can your mum watch Oliver on Saturday? Finally, he's ready to have a real conversation. Knew this would work. Knew he'd come back ready to actually engage. Saturday comes. Mum picks up Oliver and gives me the coldest look. Whatever. She'll understand when David and I come out of this stronger. David arrives exactly at 2 p.m. He's wearing a button-down shirt. He never wears button-down shirts unless it's something serious. Good. He's taking this seriously. We sit in the living room. Notice he's got a folder with him, probably printed out information about paternity tests. Okay, so he actually did it. He actually took the initiative. This is amazing. The test really worked. So I've spent the last week doing a lot of thinking. He's using his calm voice, the one he uses for work presentations. I've talked to a lawyer. I've talked to my therapist. I've talked to my parents. Wait, a lawyer? Why would you need a lawyer? He opens the folder. Because you've made it clear that you don't trust me and you don't respect this marriage. And I've realized that you're right about one thing. I have been too passive. I have been letting you set all the terms. I've been accepting treatment that I shouldn't accept. This is good though, right? This is what I wanted. Him taking action. So I've filed for divorce. Wait, what? I'm sorry, what? He slides papers across the coffee table. These are divorce papers. I filed on Wednesday. I'm also filing for full custody of Oliver, though I'm willing to negotiate shared custody. My lawyer suggests that given your apparent questions about paternity, we should get a test. Not to prove he's mine, I know he's mine, but to establish it legally for the custody proceedings. My brain says, short-circuiting. David, no, you're not understanding. This was supposed to make us stronger. You're supposed to fight for the marriage, not leave it. He actually laughs. It's bitter and harsh. Fight for the marriage? By proving our son is mine when you've given me zero reason to doubt it? That's not fighting for a marriage. That's dancing for someone who wants to watch me perform. No, you're twisting this. Can feel panic rising in my chest. I was trying to create healthy tension. Relationships need tension to survive. I was trying to make you more engaged. By accusing me of being stupid enough to raise another man's child without knowing it? By implying you might have cheated? By playing mind games instead of just talking to me? He shakes his head. I've spent 6 years trying to be the husband you needed. I learned your love language. I go to therapy. I do half the housework. I'm an active parent. And it's never enough because you keep moving the goalposts. That's not fair. I'm actually starting to cry now. This wasn't supposed to happen. I just wanted you to try harder. I was trying. I've always been trying. He stands up. But you see trying as weakness. You see my kindness as passivity. You see my trust as stupidity. I can't win with you because you've set up a game where my only options are to fail or to humiliate myself trying to pass tests I don't even know I'm taking. So you're just giving up. You're proving me right. You're walking away the second things get difficult. He actually smiles. It's sad, but also somehow free. Things have been difficult for years. I just didn't want to admit it. You know what the therapist asked me? She asked me when was the last time you said something kind to me. I couldn't remember. Not a single specific instance. That's not true. I'm kind to him. I'm just not... I don't do the fake performance of kindness. I keep it real. I tell you I appreciate you. No, you tell me I did something wrong slightly less than I usually do it wrong. That's not the same thing. He picks up the folder. You have 30 days to respond to the petition. My lawyer's contact information is on page 3. He's actually leaving. This is actually happening. What about Oliver? It's the only thing I can think to say. What about him? He's my son. David's voice breaks slightly. I was there when your water broke at 3 a.m. I timed your contractions. I was the first person to hold him. I've changed more of his diapers than you have. I've been to every pediatrician appointment, every library story time. I don't need a test to tell me he's mine, because I've been his father every single day of his life. Can you say you've been a wife to me? I'm full on crying now. Please don't do this. I made a mistake. I'll stop. I'll be better. I believe you'd stop this particular thing. He's at the door now. But in 6 months or a year, you'd start something else. Because the problem isn't what you do. It's that you see me as an opponent to defeat instead of a partner to love. Door closes behind him. I'm sitting on the couch with divorce papers in my lap. This wasn't supposed to happen. He was supposed to get the test. Prove that Oliver is his. Prove his commitment. We'd have this intense emotional moment. The passion would come back. Call Rachel sobbing. She answers and I just start explaining everything. He filed for divorce, Rachel. Actual divorce papers. Over a paternity test. Can you believe it? Long silence on the other end. You asked him to prove your son was his when you know he is. What did you think would happen? I thought he'd do it, and it would show he cared enough to verify things. I thought it would create productive tension. Where did you even get this idea? Productive tension? You sound like a LinkedIn post. Try to explain about the forums, about relationship dynamics and maintaining frame, about how men need to be tested or they get complacent. The more I talk, the more insane it sounds out loud. Oh, honey. Rachel's voice is soft now, pitying. I hate it. That's not how healthy relationships work. That's manipulation dressed up in psychology words. You don't understand. I'm getting defensive. You and Tom are basically roommates who occasionally have sex. At least I was trying to keep the spark alive. She's quiet for a long moment. Tom and I have been married for 12 years. We have 3 kids, 2 dogs, and a mortgage. We don't have constant spark because we're not teenagers. We have partnership, we have trust, we have respect. And we don't play games with each other's emotions for fun. She's taking his side. Everyone's taking his side. Spend the next week calling everyone I know. My mum, you made your bed. His mum, called me a manipulative shrew and hung up. My sister, I always thought you were too hard on him. My work friend Ashley, girl, I love you, but what were you thinking? Only person who kind of gets it is this woman from one of the forums. We DM back and forth. She says David is clearly a weak man who couldn't handle a strong woman. Says, I'm better off. But she's currently on her 3rd divorce, so maybe not the best advisor. Meet with a lawyer the following Monday. She's a woman, thank God. Surely she'll understand. Explain the whole situation. She listens without interrupting, taking notes on her legal pad. When I finish, she sets down her pen. Let me be clear. Your husband wants to divorce you because you demanded he get a paternity test for your son despite no infidelity, correct? He's overreacting to a simple request. A request you made as, and I'm reading from your own words here, a power move to create productive tension? To improve our marriage? Yes. She leans back in her chair. I'm going to be blunt with you. This is possibly the worst set of facts I've encountered in a divorce case where there's no actual abuse or infidelity. What do you mean? I mean that you've admitted, on record, to emotionally manipulating your husband. You've questioned the paternity of your child as a test of your husband's masculinity. And you're surprised that he's divorcing you. But I didn't actually cheat. That almost makes it worse. She's flipping through papers now. If you had cheated, at least there'd be a rational basis for the paternity test. This way, you tortured your husband for entertainment. That's not what it was. Why does everyone keep twisting my words? Can I fight the divorce? You can contest it, sure. She's already shaking her head though. But he's filed on grounds of emotional cruelty. And frankly, demanding a paternity test as a mind game fits that description. Plus, in our state, if one party wants a divorce, it's going to happen eventually, regardless. What about custody? She's quiet for a moment. Have you been the primary caregiver for your son? Well, I mean, we both work. We shared responsibilities. Who takes him to doctor appointments? David. Who does school drop off and pick up? David, because he works from home. Who prepares his meals? Mostly David. Who organizes playdates, birthday parties, clothes shopping? Okay, this is starting to look bad. David's lawyer has already submitted a statement from your son's pediatrician, his preschool teacher, and 3 other parents. She's reading from her computer now. All of them identify him as the primary caregiver. He's building a case for majority custody. Feel like I'm going to throw up. He can't take my son from me. He's not taking your son from you. He's asking to be the custodial parent. You'll likely get visitation, possibly even shared custody. But if he can prove he's been the primary caregiver, and given that you've questioned paternity, she trails off meaningfully. The paternity thing was a mistake. Yes, it was. She closes her folder. My retainer is $5,000. But I'm going to be honest with you. I think your best bet is to negotiate. Agree to shared custody, don't fight the divorce, and hope he's feeling generous about asset division. Walk out of there in a daze. $5,000 just to be told I have no case. David won't talk to me except through his lawyer. Oliver keeps asking when Daddy's coming home. Have to tell him that Mommy and Daddy are going to live in different houses. He cries for an hour. I'm crying too. Worst part is work. Obviously people notice I'm distressed. My coworker James asks if I'm okay. Break down and tell him the whole story. Big mistake. He's quiet for a long moment. So you asked your husband to prove your son was his... as a test. It sounds bad when you say it like that. How else should I say it? I was trying to improve our marriage. I was trying to create engagement. James is looking at me like I'm a stranger. You know I'm going through a divorce, right? Now. My wife actually did cheat on me. I would give anything to be in your husband's position. To have a faithful wife and a son I know is mine. And you just threw it away for a power trip? Report him to HR the next day for creating a hostile work environment. He gets a warning. Now, everyone in the office thinks I'm vindictive. Whispers in the break room that stop when I walk in. 3 months later, and the divorce is moving forward. David agreed to shared custody, but he gets Oliver during the week. I get every other weekend and Wednesday nights. I'm a every other weekend parent to my own son. The asset division is fair, I guess. House gets sold, we split the proceeds. Retirement accounts divided. I have to move to a 2-bedroom apartment. Oliver's room at David's place is bigger than mine. Run into David at Oliver's preschool event. He's there with some woman. She's pretty, dressed casually. She's laughing at something Oliver said. My son is laughing with her. Feel a surge of rage. Storm over. Who is this? David's face goes cold. This is Amy. She's a friend. Amy. This is Oliver's mother. Not my ex-wife. Not even my wife. Oliver's mother. Like I'm just a biological footnote. Amy smiles at me. It's genuine, which somehow makes it worse. Nice to meet you. Oliver's been telling me about his dinosaur collection. He's a little young for you to be introducing girlfriends, don't you think? David takes Amy's arm. We're not together, and even if we were, it's not your concern anymore. They walk away. Oliver runs after them. Doesn't even say goodbye to me. That night, spiral down a rabbit hole on the forums again. Find the thread where I first got the paternity test idea. Reread all the comments. Notice something I didn't before. Most of the women giving advice are single, or on multiple divorces, or in relationships they describe as constant battles. Find one comment from back then that I dismissed. It said, "This is toxic behavior dressed up as empowerment. Just talk to your husband like an adult." It had been downvoted to hell. I had downvoted it, close my laptop and pour a glass of wine. My apartment is quiet. Oliver's at David's. He's always at David's. Get a text from my mom. Your father and I are taking David and Oliver to the zoo on Saturday. Not inviting me. Taking David. My own parents have chosen him in the divorce. Think about texting David, apologizing, explaining that I understand now, that I was wrong, that I miss him, that I miss us. Type it all out. My finger hovers over send. 3 dots appear. Wait, I didn't send it yet. Oh God, did I send it? Check and no, it's still in my drafts. He's just texting me randomly. Oliver's asking if he can bring his bike to your place for Wednesday. Is that okay? That's it. That's the whole text. Logistics about a bicycle. Delete my apology text. Respond, sure, that's fine. He hearts the message. Doesn't even write back. Sit there on my couch in my empty apartment. Think about David sitting on this same couch 6 months ago when I told him to get the paternity test. Remember the look on his face. Remember feeling triumphant. Wonder at what exact moment I ruined my life. Was it that night? Or was it earlier? Years of small cruelties that I called honesty. Years of tests that I called maintaining standards. Years of contempt that I called refusing to settle. Pour another glass of wine. Open my laptop again. Search for the forums. Hover over the bookmark. Think about all those women. Their stories of testing their men. Their stories of power dynamics and frame. Their stories of multiple divorces and custody battles. Their stories that all end with, but at least I didn't settle. Close the laptop. My phone buzzes. It's a photo from David. Oliver on his new big boy bike. He's beaming. David's hand is blurred in the corner, steadying the bike. Caption, first ride without training wheels. Thought you'd want to see. He's still thinking of me. Still including me. Even after everything. Type back. He looks so happy, you're a great dad. Stare at the message. It's the nicest thing I've said to him in years. The thought makes me cry. He hearts it, then, thanks, that means a lot. And I realize, he's not coming back. There's no grand gesture I can make, no test I can pass, no way to undo what I've done. I wanted him to fight for me, wanted him to prove himself, wanted him to work harder. Never occurred to me that I should have been doing those things for him. Finish my wine. Oliver's bike is in the corner, his room is perfectly set up, his favorite snacks in the cupboard, everything ready for Wednesday night. 1 night a week, every other weekend. That's what I traded my marriage for. That's what I get for being unwilling to settle. For demanding more. For testing instead of trusting. Sit in the silence of my apartment. Our apartment. My apartment. Think about David in our house. His house. Putting Oliver to bed. Reading him stories. Being there every morning when he wakes up. Think about him not having to deal with me anymore. Not having to pass my tests. Not having to prove himself. Not having to wonder what game I'm playing. Think about him being free. And realize that's what he wanted all along. Not to prove himself. Just to be free. Pour another glass. It's my 3rd. Or 4th. Lost count. Used to judge David for being passive. For being weak. For not fighting. Turns out walking away was the strongest thing he ever did. And I'm still here. In my empty apartment. Having won nothing. Having lost everything. Be me. 34-year-old marketing executive. Single mother. Every other weekend. Still trying to figure out where it all went wrong. Still sure it wasn't supposed to end like this. Still wondering if maybe everyone else is wrong. Still wondering if maybe I am. Finish my wine. Wednesday is 3 days away. I get my son for 5 hours. This is what winning looks like.